Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical, something beautiful. Come and take me higher, set my world on fire tonight, tonight. Show me everything I want to know. You take me right around the world. Now I'm feeling tonight, got me feeling so right. Yeah, I'll be good.
This week on Top Billing, marriage and family triumph in the rollercoaster world of showbiz. Loyiso and Jen Bala return to the school that changed the fortunes of all the Bala brothers. Opposites attract as Bianca Le Grange and David Johnson make the ideal bride and groom. World-famous Karen Tran shares the secrets that made her the floral decorator to the stars. Marks and Maps Maponyane get some first-class father and son time on a balloon safari. In Zanzibar, David and Thalia Kau prove that laughter is the spice of life. And your presenter, Jeannie D, brings you the show from the house that adventure built, the home of pilot Peter van der Spey.
Good evening and welcome to Top Billing, on a night where we find that the celebrity couples who laugh together stay together, like Loyiso and Jen Bala. With Loyiso's new album out in May, we returned to where it all began in his musical roots, with the Drakensburg Boys Choir.
Loyiso and Jennifer have been hard at work since we brought you their wedding 4.5 years ago. Recently, Jen partnered with Pearl Tusi to develop and launch a natural hair care range. After the Bala Brothers DVD hit number 6 on the Billboard World Music Chart, Loyiso's back in studio, and young KENZIE has taken a shine to ballet and drama.
You're now a daughter, Richard. This is KENZIE's debut on camera. How has she changed your life?
She's just been an absolute pleasure, and she is too clever actually for her own good, and so we feel like we've skipped a year already in terms of her development.
A lot of people know KENZIE from her Instagram account, so I guess she's gotten a bit of a fan base already.
Hello, KENZIE.
Hello, Mama.
How old are you?
I'm 2.
Well done.
You too?
Yes.
You're a big girl. Jen, I believe you went through quite a challenging time during your pregnancy.
When I was 2 months pregnant, my mum was diagnosed with cancer, and she was living with us at the time already, with Loyiso and myself. So I was looking after my mum, I was working, and obviously being pregnant at the same time.
How did that make you stronger as a family?
We've probably been through like one of the hardest times that a couple would ever go through, and you've only been married for 3 years, having lost Jen's mom. So if we can go through that and still stay together, it means that the next few years I think are going to be the best years of our lives.
But the tough times weren't done yet. And a while after losing her mother, Jen recently had to deal with her father passing away in Ghana. It's been far from easy. Once things settle down, Jen and Loyiso hope to expand their family.
Loyiso, what inspires your music? Is it mainly from your personal life or your experiences?
Most songs that I used to write when I was much younger were really just from my imagination, because I didn't have that much life experiences. The best songs that I've ever written, I remember one kind of called Girl Without a Name. I was 16 years old.
It's one of my favorites, and definitely all his female fans love it. They're always screaming at his concerts when he sings it. And he wrote it when he was at the Drakensburg Boys Choir School.
Now that I think about the song, I remember that song from high school. Oh my gosh! How funny is that? Please sing it.
I can laugh, I can speak, everything right out my mind. That's a little bit of it.
I remember the song.
Since graduating from the Drakensburg Boys Choir School, Loyiso and his brothers, ZWAI and PHELO, have produced several award-winning albums. His own Power Love Sound won Best Contemporary Faith Album at the Summers. This is where his talent was nurtured.
While I was here as well, I got to travel to over 16 countries around the world. So this really just sort of became the base where the world kind of opened up to me.
I believe your cousin played quite a huge role in you coming to the school.
My cousin, I had a cousin who was 19 years old. He was a petrol attendant. So we heard about this competition, the singing competition, and if you won, you got a place into the Drakensburg Boys Choir. So my brother entered, and he was able to convince his bosses who own the petrol stations to actually pay for our schooling. So that's why I think many people see us being successful, but in actual fact, we come from very, very humble beginnings.
But I believe when you came here, actually, you couldn't even speak English. It was a completely new experience for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, ZWAI was the first black boy in the school, and that was obviously during the apartheid era. So it really just kind of changed a lot of things. So I came here 2 years later, having done English as sort of like a third language. And so I think just apart from that, not only did I learn how to speak English, but I learned how to also read and write music.
Wow.
And how to sing in Italian at the same time with Bala brothers.
Something else the Bala brothers learned was how to make the most of their home away from home.
This over here used to be my bed right here.
Really?
Come see.
Come look at Daddy's bed. Look, Boo. This is where Daddy used to sleep. Look.
This was the first time you kind of owned your little space, right?
So no one was allowed to step over this line, or else they had to follow my rules. This was my own little country. But you know, people around the world used to know us as the singing angels. But we had a naughty streak to us. We weren't all that good. I remember the one time actually we used to take mattresses and then put them out the window and then sleep on them outside at night, because the stars here look so beautiful and the view looks absolutely stunning. Yeah. So I think that's why now they've actually changed the windows so that these only open right at the top. So it was my fault, boys. I'm sorry, it was my fault.
Despite his nightly excursions, Loyiso excelled at school, coming top of his class. But he really stood out in the choir.
There's certain names and things that are synonymous with the Drakensburg Boys Choir, and the Bala brothers are one of those names, and Loyiso in particular. I
was head of the choir. As a matter of fact, I think my name still stands on one of the boards, including ZWAI's.
Come see this.
So,
the whole Bala family is like dominating this board. Look at that.
And PHELO's on one of the other boards. So, you know, just what a great honor it's really, really been, just being part of the school.
I grew up hearing about the Drakensburg Boys Choir. Was there any pressure having been head of the choir at the time?
But when I first came in, I was a small little boy who was just slightly bigger than KENZIE. But throughout the years, which is one thing that happens at the school, is that like you get taught what it is to be a leader, so that you can be that once you grow up and you get into the professional the professional world.
The only school of its kind in Africa, they've toured the globe, performed for the Pope, and they also sing weekly for the local community. A visit by the Bala brothers, whose DVD was broadcast on US television and hit #1 on Amazon, was a boost.
This must have so many sentimental memories for you. Your old school, the Drakensburg Boys Choir, the whole family's literally here.
So many years ago, when I was even smaller than the guys that are singing in the choir now, to think that so many years down the line, close to 30 years, we'll be here with our own children, and all of us would have come to the school and gone.
I haven't been here in a while, so for me it's quite a great experience to see, you know, the school again.
Let me tell you, the last time we were here together was when PHELO sang his last concert right here in this auditorium. So yeah, so many years later, here we are back here again. And it's funny because whenever I see the boys sing, I suddenly feel that age again, like I should be up there. So
you don't look it.
I know I don't look it.
Well, I have a brilliant idea. Since we have the Bala brothers here,
yes,
and we've got the Drakensburg Boys Choir here, I think it's only fitting that we finish this off with something beautiful.
Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong.
With all three brothers having done so well, focus turns to the next generation. KENZIE is already singing, dancing and acting in drama class. But she also loves cars and driving with her dad, so she may be more racing driver than performer. Or both, because she's got what her mother, father and both uncles possess.
Something inside so strong.
Oh, how adorable is little KENZIE. The camera absolutely loves her. And if she's got a voice anything near as good as her dad, she's going to be a star.
Coming up, the stars of stage, TV and stand-up tell us why Bianca Le Grange and David Johnson are so good together.
Yes, now we
and actors are defined by the shows that made them famous. Now ask newlywed TV stars Bianca Le Grange and David Johnson which roles they most want to be defined by, and they'll tell you it's as best friends to each other.
They were to be married in the Bunghook Valley near Stellenbosch. David starred as Dwayne in Sewende Laan and in the critically acclaimed SABC1 drama Society plus many stage productions. But the most important line he ever delivered was at home.
Could you tell me about the day that you got on one knee and decided to make her yours forever?
I had the ring burning in my pocket for quite a long time and I've been waiting for the right moment. She was getting ready actually for us about to go out on the town, and I looked at her and I couldn't resist anymore, and went on my knee and I said, I can't wait anymore. I'd love you for you to be my wife.
Although a drama graduate and actor, David is shy and reserved. That's how his brother and best man Mark has known him all his life.
What makes the bride and groom so special?
Bianca is very expressive, whether it's happy or sad or just, she's on a calm mood. You can see exactly what's going on in her face and in the gestures. And David brings the balance in that, in terms of just either bringing her down or bringing it down to sort of a calm space, or her taking David up to like a hype, excited space. But they work very well together in that way.
The last time we saw Bianca was as the firecracker Anita in West Side Story.
Bianca, throughout the day, everyone's been talking about this incredible feisty woman, but here stands this elegant bride-to-be.
Thank you so very much. I'm trying for David's sake. Yes, my beautiful dress designed specifically for me by Hendrik Vermeulen, couture, and I feel like a princess. I did play a role once called Cinderella where I got to play a princess. It's pretty much like that type of feeling.
I met David, and he's very calm and collected. Is it a case of opposites attract?
Yeah, we're definitely opposites. My mom calls us chalk and cheese. But our similarities are our careers and what we love to do, which is telling stories with our the talents that God has given us, which is singing and acting and dancing, and the best man I could ever choose. Oh, actually, he chose me, but definitely the best man, definitely.
The Le Grange family have diverse talents, as Bianca's sister SHANA showed us.
These dresses look amazing. They're so elegant.
Thank you. They're all made by Bianca's mom. You can see they're wearing tutus, all matching in the light pink. Yes, and we just wanted to go with something vintage and classy, something sexy like Bianca.
The couple loved to entertain, and the bride's choice of carriage reflected their regard for classic elegance. There were stars of stage and television on both sides of the aisle, but at heart, this was a family wedding. Bianca's brother, RUDI Le Grange, gave the bride away. With such magnetic characters as its leading man and lady, the ceremony was like watching an intensely personal scene from a movie.
I, Bianca Joy, take you, David, on to be my husband.
I do. Whoa.
Both David and Bianca have big hearts. After matric, she toured the country doing charity work, while in his spare time, David teaches dance to college students. To bring that authentic Cape flavor to the occasion, a Cape Minstrels band was arranged by Bianca's friend Lookman Adams, who is currently starring with her in the stage musical District 6. Many of the celebrity guests were unknowns when they first became friends.
How did the two of you know this lovely couple?
I know Bianca from way back when Mark and V and the other close friends did the pantomime in 2003?
Long ago.
Long time ago. And David I also know from Cape Town days, before I even moved to Joburg.
And I lived with Bianca when I first went to Joburg, when I was in the pantomime, so I got to know her really, really well. So my heart goes out to David. I wished him the best. He must be very strong.
I originally saw her in the very first Idols when that launched, and I remember moving to Johannesburg the year after that, and I needed a place to stay. And I called Bianca and I said, listen, I know you don't know me that well, And she said, like, yeah, cool, I've got a spare room, you can just chill there. And that's my journey to Johannesburg started, and we've been friends since.
And of course, we wish the couple everything of the best. We want them to have the most incredible life together and just a really blessed marriage and life, and maybe lots and lots of singing babies.
CHRISTO, how do you know the couple?
I've known both of them for a very, very, very long time. I met David when I was still at university. He was at UCT and I was at UWC, but we used to audition for the same roles. And Bianca I met about 10 years ago as well, so I've known the two of them for quite a while. And it's quite an honor being here, and you can see by the people that's here, you know, that they are very loved.
This wedding market, it's such a fantastic idea, right?
I love this. There's oysters here, there's a sweet table over there, there's craft beer just behind me. There's a groot party.
I think we've all just become kids again.
Yeah, we have indeed.
For the reception, Bianca chose a decor theme of linen, damask tablecloths, natural wood, white orchids and champagne-coloured roses.
How have you incorporated the couple's personality into the decor?
Even though it's a classical theme, we've gone for something a bit more theatrical and elements that brings out the punchiness. This long banquet table that is reminiscent of a big party going to happen, the brush candelabra, all the ghost chairs and the glasses and crystal coming together. Then, of course, the King Protea, which we just love, and we think it's beautiful. It fits completely with their color scheme.
And the umbrellas, which are my personal favorite.
Yes, the umbrellas is an idea that we saw at a party in Spain, actually. And at night with some soft lighting, it's just magical.
The couple's entrance was very demure. There was no stage production about things at all. It was an opportunity to see their private selves.
It's been such a fantastic day, and this reception is absolutely magical. The food is delicious. What has stood out for you today?
It's always a pleasure to see my sister that happy. She had a little bit of tears. There were tears of joy, as I know my sister, but that stood out the most for me, seeing my sister happy.
Have you enjoyed the reception?
Coming here was a big surprise. I met Bianca years ago when we were in Idols. When I was 17, that's 12 years ago. And if you know Bianca, she is fabulous, she is beautiful, and the reception is everything and like that and more. I mean, I love the family, the warmth, weddings are so beautiful, and the speeches are always my favorite. And David's speech was so heartfelt and really so amazing. And I know that the union is going to be wonderful, and God is really going to bless them to see many, many years and have many, many babies.
Like a routine from a stage show, the garter throw was fittingly theatrical. While both David and Bianca are natural performers who love an audience, when they're together, they could be the only people in the room.
Did everything go according to plan?
Nothing ever goes according to plan. I'm a Virgo, so I see everything. But I think what was meant to be happened, and I'm at peace with that. It was months of planning, months of stressing, a lot of energy and a lot of input from so many people. And I think this was a spectacular night.
I'd like to thank my wife. I'd like to thank my wife for putting up an awesome wedding, an awesome party. They normally say it's the bride's day, but she made me feel like the most special groom. All of this year is her commitment and dedication to her love for me. So I want to thank her.
Thank you, baby. I love you.
David plays in a band, and Bianca's talent on the piano is well known. But on this night, everyone else could play while they had the party of their lives.
Bianca, David, may your marriage continue to be as inspiring, fun, and successful as your wonderful friendship.
Just ahead, floral decor from world-renowned designer Karen Tran. And Marks Maponyane shows Maps Maponyane who's boss, or does he?
So this being February, once the love of your life gives you flowers, what do you do with them? Well, as floral designers go, they don't come any better than California's Karen Tran. And recently, she gave us a masterclass in this fantastic natural art form.
Karen was in South Africa to show the opulent design that has made her one of America's foremost wedding designers. Like her book, Wedding Flowers, Karen's classes are practical. She teaches you to use varied shape, length, and texture to create movement. And this class attracted interest from way beyond our borders.
Hello, Afi. I can see a master at work, so I'm not going to disturb for too long. Okay. I know you come from Ghana.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you think you're learning at this incredible course that you're actually going to be able to use in the exquisite events you do back home?
Yes, it's very exciting to be here. She has been amazing, very humble, very patient, because, you know, her technique is quite different. It's exuberant, luxury, and that is where the industry is going.
And I can see you have definitely picked up a couple of tips. This is exquisite and very unusual. What have you incorporated here?
Yeah, actually, she's trying to teach us how to make these humongous arrangements that fill up a room. It has different elements, different flowers.
Different layers.
Different layers
Yes.
of flowers, and it's so rich. I feel so excited to be part of this.
Tips include massaging roses to help them bloom and disguising the mechanics of design.
Now, from Survivor to having your own show to incorporating these masterpieces into your own events, how has Karen actually added to your creative journey?
Eileen, Karen's daughter, her whole thing is to make it look natural as possible, but to still make it look beautiful and like an arrangement. And when you walk into this room, it's impressive.
It's
right?
quite amazing.
Yeah, and the scale of these things are massive.
Yeah,
Americans
you do
like
see-
everything bigger.
I was
right?
about to say it is American, bigger, better,
Bigger, better.
bold.
Yeah.
Take me through your creation, because I see you seem to have gotten the whole layering thing spot on.
No, so huge teamwork in every single arrangement. I have been working on the tulips over here just for the last couple of
Those
minutes.
are parrot tulips, right?
Yeah, so some of them are parrot tulips and some
See,
of them
I'm
are
learning
small
all
ones.
these
Hey,
terms.
look at you, hey? Yeah, so that's basically what we've been working on here at the moment, just to cover the mechanics, just to kind of hide how we get the flowers in.
So it looks like they just happen to drape themselves
Yes.
naturally. Like.
Yeah.
Another one of Karen's hints is to create bridal bouquets in front of a mirror. This allows you to see their actual front and how it will look from the photographer's point of view.
I can imagine there's a lot of preparation that goes into creating an event like this. How many flowers did you use?
Well, the list is quite extensive. We're looking at probably 1,000 Phalaenopsis orchids you see here, 10,000 roses imported from Holland and Kenya, thousands of hydrangeas and tulips, so quite an extensive list.
Although Karen's green-fingered family grew almost everything they ate, she only began working with flowers when a friend asked for help with her wedding.
Karen, where did your obvious passion for these floral fantasies come from?
Truly my passion came from my upbringing early on. I was exposed to all types of flowers by my father, who was an accomplished gardener. So I was very, very fortunate.
I've heard that there's actually a specific type of tulip named after you.
Yes, 2 years ago, a creator of this particular tulip contacted us from a company in the Netherlands and asked if they can name this beautiful tulip after me. And these particular tulip was planted in Holland last year. So this next April, we get to see it for the first time in the field. So I'm very excited.
Throughout the evening's celebration, guests kept learning from Karen's experience. If you have a limited budget, don't spread flowers all over the room. Use fresh flowers in abundance, but in a concentrated area.
What do flowers add to an event? If you have a flower around you in your flat or in your house, then there is life. And I think we would like to bring a lot of flowers here to this ballroom to show also something different what you can do with flowers.
We have great music, we have pianists, we have flutists with us, and then it's all about enjoying yourselves, about talking to people, networking, admiring the beauty of what Karen Tran and the team has created. We have Kobus Dippenaar with us, who is one of the greatest fashion designers here in Cape Town. We're very lucky to have him because usually he only does fashion shows, and today we'll open up a little bit to the public.
Kobus's wedding gown collection, titled Anna Georgina, is a tribute to his mother, who used to sew the dresses he designed.
Have you always incorporated floral design into your actual dresses, or is it just a coincidence that this is the collection you show with Karen?
I've always been a fan of flowers. It's always been an inspiration. Every collection I've done so far in my 27 years of design always had flowers. I'm just mad about flowers. And the fact that Karen Tran loves orchids as much as I do, just loved it. So it was just by chance, but it is magnificent being here.
Modelling some of the showstoppers was Presenter Search finalist and now Pieterse presenter Mishka Patel.
Mishka, what an exquisite event. But I have to ask you, firstly, looking glorious in that dress, what did you like more, the flowers or the gorgeous dresses?
Well, that's an easy one. I mean, I'm in one of the dresses. I love Kobus's designs, hey? I mean, look at this. So this is one of my favorites, and I'm so glad I got to wear the red one. I love red. I think it's my color. What do you think?
Lady in Red. I mean, he must have been singing the song about you.
Karen has 3 daughters who grew up around flowers. Having studied art history, Eileen now works with her mother.
You must have gotten your passion for flowers from your mom as she got it from her dad.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm super blessed where she introduced us to us at a very young age, and we always helped her out and worked with her. And I mean, I'm just so lucky to surround myself with people who are passionate about flowers and love it and revitalize my passion also.
As with enjoying music or wine, there should always be a mystique about floral design, but never so much that it stops you believing that you can do it too.
What a team, and just as special as that mother-daughter relationship is the one between SA film and television's hottest leading man, Maps Maponyane, and his father, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates legend, Marks Maponyane. Seeing them together is a study in the kind of man every young boy wants to be.
No hot air is required to talk up the career of Marks Maponyane, Kaizer Chiefs' all-time top goal scorer and 3 times Footballer of the Year winner. With his son's burgeoning career in media, a balloon ride over the Waterberg was a chance to take stock of it all.
Have you guys ever experienced anything like this?
Never. The first time I thought I'd do this would be with I don't know, love of my life or something. And now I'm just with my dad. But I'm kidding.
I was gonna say,
In fact, you have a better love of your life.
Well, with that in mind, then it's incredibly special that you guys are here right now experiencing this magical hot air balloon ride.
This is definitely something special. I never imagined I'd be able to do this with my father and really get to share this type of moment. I mean, I can't think of a better setting, really. Finally, we're really alone for once, you know, because sometimes even when we do get to spend time together, it ends up being spending time with a lot of other people because of the nature of the lives that we lead.
A game drive got us even closer to the wildlife. This was a long way from the start of Mark's football career, earning just 600 Rand a month. Maps had his own challenges, overcoming a bad childhood stutter to become the assured star he is today.
Since you guys have such incredibly busy schedules, you don't get to spend too much time together. What do you get up to when you are together?
Mainly, we try to play golf, which is easier because then you can spend 4 to 5 hours together.
Well, what's actually quite interesting about that is that I taught him how to play golf. You know, I wanted to teach him patience and being able to strategize properly and everything. And now I think he's flipped it on me. He just wants to see and make sure that I'm still sort of a focused type of human. When I was a lot younger, I would get quite frustrated on the course, and it would say a lot about where I was mentally. So it's great to finally have competition when we play now.
As well as his time captaining Amakosi, Marks also helped Orlando Pirates win the league title and Champions League.
And you're known for those bicycle kicks and those amazing goals. What are some of the highlights that you've experienced in your career?
One thing that people don't realize is you cannot go to the gym and go for bicycle kicks, otherwise you'll have broken limbs, you know. It just happens, you'll be always carried by the momentum of the game and also that will to win. there will be always the devil inside of you to say, you can't let go of this ball. Not give away, go for it, don't give up. And that's what makes those memories so good, because you know you can't repeat them. It's one of those that if it was a movie, you say, never to be repeated.
Growing up in the limelight with your dad being the man that he is, did it prepare you for being in the spotlight?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. I think I have been given that advantage in the sense that I saw him dealing with it in the way that he did. He was always prepared to be around people and spend time with them and entertain anything that came his way, and getting to see his patience with people was something that really, I feel, rubbed off on me and put me in good stead in terms of how to really handle being in the limelight.
You're an actor, a TV presenter, a model. Many people know that, but what they don't know is that you're also a writer.
One of my majors is English, and I love writing, and I love how all of those can link up into making something beautiful. It allows you to create a whole lot more, and I happen to be in a position where I can do what I love and get paid to do it.
You're also a style icon. You've won many awards for that. Is this how you dress in general for game viewing?
Thanks to my mom, I've always had an eye for fashion. She always used to use me as a kid to figure out what she should wear, and we'd always go shopping, and I used to hate that. All I wanted to do was just play in the streets and go play soccer with friends. And then eventually I found myself taking my own clothes and picking my own clothes. She got a bit frustrated with that because she didn't have control over me anymore. The strange thing, though, has been being in that career where people are always sort of putting a lot of attention on it and highlighting it. But for me, it's like, well, I can dress myself. It's just something I take a lot of pride in.
Along with the world's highest concentration of leopard, this lodge is home to the Entabeni Tigers soccer team. Marks was in his element.
Okay, so you're going to take him on. You're going to be on opposing sides. Okay. How do you think this is going to go down?
It could go down really badly. I mean, I've still got age on my side. He might break something.
Don't say such things. That's terrible.
No. He's really, really fit. He's in great condition. So
I was going to say, I actually think he might be a little bit fitter than you.
What you might see is a 100-meter dash down the pitch and me just being left in the dust. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's been years since I've done this with my dad, so it's going to be very cool.
Let's go. I'm going to ref, by the way.
Are you reffing?
A soccer pitch is the ultimate leveler. Out here, it doesn't matter what Marks's former glories were. He's just one of the team. As for Maps, he played competitive football through to varsity, and much of the skill is still there. But could he put the ball in the back of the net?
Your highlights and lowlights?
My low light was when I was trying to do what I was doing 30 years ago. I couldn't do it, and I fell alone there trying to turn.
Low lights was when I ran for him and he may have outskilled me. Highlights was my volley and getting to play with him again, definitely. It was well timed, it was coming towards me, just remembered the basics and I did the job. Hence it was 3-2.
Should you rub it in?
Good game.
So what's next for the Maponyane family?
The picture is always going to be the same for me. Living from day to day, try to maximize as much as I can. But 2-3 weeks ago, never knew that I will finish 56, the 2 oceans. So the next challenge for me is the Comrades. And after finishing Comrades is what's another challenge?
On my side, yeah, I just want to keep growing with everything I'm doing. The acting side of things has been quite an adventure. And, we get so busy and lost in what we're doing that we don't get enough time to spend together. And, yeah, I think from here we also want to keep on creating more moments together.
Speaking of moments, let's take a team photo.
Now the Entabeni Tigers have proof that they played with one of the giants, while their daughters will be envious that they missed the group selfie with Maps.
If Marks was 80 years old and walking with a stick, I'd still put money on him scoring goals. What an absolute legend.
Up next, after 10 years of gloriously happy marriage to his wife Thalia, David Kau has a very simple approach to wedded bliss.
How do you spell comedy? David Kau is how. He's redefined South African humour, tickled everyone's funny bone, and for 10 years made laughter the soul of a very happy marriage to Thalia Kau, an anniversary worth toasting in style.
It was Destination Zanzibar, and we'd arrived just in time for a late lunch at The Rock, a one-of-a-kind restaurant in the sea and just off Michanvi Pingwe Beach.
The colour of the ocean gets me every time. Isn't this the most beautiful place to have lunch?
I hate it. It's unrealistic.
It's stunning.
It's amazing.
Absolutely stunning.
Amazing.
Well, the whole reason we've treated you to this trip is because you're celebrating a decade of being together. Please, you have to tell me, what is the secret to your happy relationship?
Is there a secret? Give her whatever she wants.
That's true.
That's my secret. Whatever she wants, I try and give it to her.
Yeah. Spot on. Santa Sana. Top Billing was there for your wedding, but what I want to know is, do you remember the moment you first laid eyes on each other?
Sure, 10 years ago. I first laid eyes on him at a comedy show he was doing in Sandton. It was my very first comedy show that I had attended. And I was sitting with my sister and I said to her, he's actually quite funny, I'd date him. Then after that, I think it was about 2 weeks later, a mutual friend got us together on my birthday.
I called her for like 4 hours the next day, for like 3 or 4 hours, and then I decided I'm gonna go and see her. And that was it, eh?
We've been together ever since.
Top Billing was there for a most entertaining wedding. And now, here were the bride and groom as mom and dad to 2 young children.
With David being away so much, I'm sure Deo and Aaliyah keep you super busy at home.
He does travel even more now, but the kids do keep me very, very busy. But we do communicate with him a lot. We FaceTime, we send videos, we do dance videos for him.
Can they do the nene?
My daughter is always ending up with her head on the floor.
And her legs in the air.
I don't know what my son is doing when he tries to dance, but I hope it's short term.
Thalia, there's quite an ironic twist to your name.
Thalia was the Greek muse of comedy.
Ah.
Yeah, and I married a comedian, which is quite awesome. We're meant to be.
Originally a popular fishing spot, head chef Joseph Justo keeps with the seafood tradition.
What's on the menu today, chef?
Today the menu is spaghetti with crab sauce. The ingredients is fresh onion, fresh tomato, fresh green pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, and crab meat.
So what kind of dish is it?
Italian dish with Zanzibar twist.
Sounds interesting. Yum.
All that pasta was good fuel for an afternoon touring the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Stone Town. The island's dominant East African and Muslim traditions are both represented in our guide, Ramadan Kombo Suleiman, a man with knowledge as broad as his name.
This is a Darajani market, and this market was all the market in here, Stone Town. Non-Darajani because it was a big bridge here, right? Because people can cross from New Town to Stone Town. Our market will categorize into 4 categories, all right? Fish market, meat market, vegetable, spice brought together, and the chicken market.
And the tomato?
Yeah, also
tomato
inside,
market.
yeah, exactly.
Since their children were at home, David and Thalia decided some gifts were in order, and not only for 6-year-old Deo and 3-year-old Aliyah.
And that, hold on, yeah. This one. You can come home.
Zanzibar began to develop an architectural identity when Persian traders built temples and mosques, while today's houses date back to the colonial era.
Stone Town is a mix of different style of the houses. Downstairs a business and upstairs people living apartment, right? And you can see wooden door is very, very beautiful doors, right? The half round top is Indian style and the square top is Arab door or Arabic door. The door were made by teak, a very strong wood, right? Teak, very hard and expensive wood. We use a brass as a decoration in Stone Town.
At Freddie Mercury's birthplace, David put the camera phone away and did a tribute instead.
I want to break free. I want to break free. As I should the just in the nation, the flight, let me see.
When you're with this guy, the comedy happens all the time. Thalia's learnt this in a decade of being married to the electrical engineering student who became a drama student who became a comic. Preferring to watch her husband may be why Thalia opted out of featuring in his reality meets stand-up comedy show, David Kau's House. After a traditional dhow sailing trip to Prison Island, we met the only audience who've ever been unmoved by David's comedy, the local giant tortoises.
The tortoises that we got them here, the common name we are calling them Aldabra giant tortoises. Originally, they're coming from Seychelles. They brought here in early 19th century from Seychelles by the British. It was a present for the sultans of Zanzibar. They live up to 500 years. And now there are more than 250 tortoises in these islands.
You know, my kids want dogs, and I don't like dogs.
So you want the tortoises?
Can you give me a tortoise?
Unfortunately.
You know how much money?
I know, but unfortunately.
This is 20 South African lakhs. I really want one. Hey, Toti, wait, hey, come, come. Man, you're lucky I can't swim.
The tortoise was unimpressed. During a late afternoon cloudburst, we managed to find a sheltered picnic spot.
After performing for 18 years, what do you still enjoy about stepping on stage?
There's no other feeling in the world that can compare to making people laugh. Maybe anything that I could ever trade or think is a better feeling. If I had to choose between making people laugh and having kids and spending time with my kids and my wife, I would choose my kids and my wife. Other than that feeling, there's nothing else that gives you the feeling you get when you're on stage making people laugh.
Thalia's name translates as flourishing, and that's what David's been doing since the day they met. He's the people's comic who helps us all to keep our sense of humor.
We thought they could never replace Freddie Mercury, until now.
Still to come, Diners Club Winemaker of the Year, JOHANN thinks being able to call this work makes him the luckiest man he knows.
Another secret to all these marriages is that each of the couples are one another's best critic. JOHANN's wife, Tanya, knows wine about as well as he does, and that undoubtedly played its part when he was awarded the 2015 Diners Club Winemaker of the Year title.
Established in the 1600s, these are the second set of vineyards ever planted in the Cape, and JOHANN is their latest custodian.
Oh my, what a glorious office you have here. I can see why you're so inspired.
Yeah, I thought let me show you where it all starts for me. It starts out in the vineyards. All good wines starting with good grapes. And then as far as my inspiration goes and clearing the mind, it all starts on the saddle. That's really where I get a lot of my thoughts and ideas and creativity when it comes to winemaking, when it's just me in the outdoors, and even better if it's in between the vineyards.
This really is such a popular wine region, but what grape grows here in particular?
Yeah, over the years we've learned, Paul grape growers, that Shiraz and Chenin Blanc is best suited to this region and the growing conditions. This specific property we're standing on is delivering fruit to our winery, and because these soils on this property is decomposed granite, it's very well suited to the production of sparkling wine, so that would be Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. So even though we are in Paul, we also have diverse soil types, so you just have to align your grape varietal with the specific soil type as well.
Well, all of this talk of grapes and wine, I'm quite parched.
Should I race you down there for a glass of wine?
Definitely.
Since the 1920s, wines made here at the foot of Paarl Rock have been exported. The KWV label helped make the reputation of our industry abroad. And the fact that JOHANN won Diners Club Winemaker of the Year shows that he is the man for this job.
So tell us about the wine that won.
Although the one we've entered for the Diners Club was the 2013 Pinotage, which sits in our Mentors range, which is our flagship tier within the KWV portfolio. What we do with this Mentors tier is that we only bottle those varietals that perform exceptionally well in a particular vintage. And 2013 was one of those great vintages for Pinotage.
That really is sensational. It is quite a modern taste though, it's easy drinking. As a winemaker, what does it mean to be awarded the title of Winemaker of the Year?
Well, it's only happened a couple of months ago, but thinking about it, it's all still a bit unreal, the night having your name announced. But I think for me, it's a great acknowledgement of the work that we've been doing for the last couple of years at KWV. You know, upping our wine styles and quality and really focusing on what we're doing in the winery.
What would you say the impact is of the Diners Club Winemaker of the Year Awards on the industry?
So being on the list, I always knew it was one of South Africa's top accolades for winemakers to pick up, but never did I realize that the Diners Club Award goes beyond the borders of South Africa, and the recognition you get from outside of South Africa was quite surprising.
What is your winemaking philosophy?
Thinking about it, I would say it's somewhere between the exactness and the precision of the science involved and the artistic unknown or being creative. You know, it's somewhere in between those two. Maybe I'm just a bridge in between, bringing the two together, I guess.
With Johann's wife, Thalia, specializing in the marketing of wine, they're a formidable double act in the industry.
So what do you think of your husband's fine talents?
Yeah, he's done some amazing things and he's really got a passion for what he's doing and it's coming through in his wine and his work, so very proud.
So what's it like having two connoisseurs under one roof?
Oh, well, I guess it's got its pros and its cons. We often catch ourselves talking about wine long after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, over weekends, late at night, but then I guess it's over a glass of wine, so that makes a difference. On the other side, I've got my own critic at home that gives me honest opinions on the wine, so if I get to please her palate, then I'm safe. I know I'm safe to go.
If you had to choose your particular favorite wine, which one would it be?
If I must pick one, it should be the 2011 Shiraz that he's made on our daughter's birthday, actually. She came a bit unexpectedly and a bit earlier than anticipated, and yeah, I had to send him home the morning after the birth saying, "You've got some wine to make, go for it."
We were catching babies and grapes at the same time.
Yeah, and then at the end of it all, that specific wine also achieved some amazing awards. So yeah, it was really a precious moment.
Well, cheers. Here's to many more award-winning wines.
In our Toast to Wine month, you could stand a chance of winning a selection of Johann's award-winning wines. Find all the entry details at topbilling.com, on our Twitter account, or on the Top Billing Facebook page.
Whether you're making award-winning reds, blazing a trail in floral art, music, or comedy, the key is knowing who you're doing it all for. And it seems family is the ultimate inspiration. Until next Thursday, good night and God bless.
Catch SA's Generation Extraordinary next week. Test Centurion Themba Bavuma needs no second invitation. Springbok Damian Derlendi sees the gap and takes it. Impossible is nothing for teenage surf revelation Sam Trele. To world champion Wade van Niekerk, shoes are his only Achilles heel. Plus, Miss SA Liesel Laurie gets to the core of Chef Matt Manning's one-ingredient cooking revolution.